Welcome everyone, and thank you all to be here tonight. We'll do this show in English as everything in broadcast is for the US and for all our folks abroad. Thank you to be here. This is the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab Rendez-vous, a French touch actually, as we are French. This is an annual yearly international meetup. The idea is to exchange and to share the best innovation of the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab on our startups. As you know, with Dassault Systèmes, since 30 years, we've innovated with industrials. We help them to digitalize their business transformation, to do their product, obviously, even more better, speeder, nicer, on planes, cars, chairs, whatever is around you. And we can say that now, everything around you worldwide is somewhere digitalized with Dassault Systèmes solutions. It was our business in 30 years, and we really believe now, since some years, that innovation is also coming outside. Obviously, they still innovate, but more and more, the innovation is open, the innovation is disruptive, and is coming from new players, from startups, as most of you are, but also from makers in Fab Labs, and they can do great things. So the idea tonight is to start sharing some results of the lab. And first, I would like to share with you our mission with this video. We take project at the seed level. What we want is to accelerate project in very early phase, so that means take risk. Projects that are having those three main criteria. They should really be in disruptive innovation in product or services. They should call for collective intelligence, and they really should transform positively the society. We want to impact the society and think big. And this is what the lab is about, to empower people in an open collaborative project. For this, and thanks to our president and CEO, Bernard Charles, who is here with us today, who accompanied this transformation. It's real transformation inside Dassault Systèmes, as we created a new management model to make any Dassault Systèmes employee an innovator. We are 15,000 people around the world with skills in many domains. And the idea of this project from day one was to be very inclusive and to make sure everyone on a volunteering basis could contribute to the lab project. So Bernard, if you want to give a word, and I thank you again for your support on this that was not obvious at that time.
Thank you, Frédéric. You did it all. Thank you for joining tonight. I'm going to be short for a long time. Dassault Systèmes has been a big secret because we were working on highly sensitive programs around the world, but we think the time has come for all of us together to change the way we innovate for a more sustainable world. And we don't take it lightly, and I'm not going to share a lot on that aspect, but we have invested massively to create a platform that will be able to address both product-related things, nature-related topics, as well as life science. And we believe we are never going to be able to fully exploit the potential of that platform with those capabilities. You are going to be able to do it. And I think that tonight what we want to illustrate and what Frédéric has launched, created a new animation process, and I really thank you, Frédéric, for this new style of cooperation, new culture for the company, is we want you to take advantage of everything we do to build up and make your dream happen. We are taking it very seriously. We see each other every 6 weeks and select projects. We want to accelerate that process around the world, but we also want to accelerate it in France, in Europe, because we have a say in the innovation. Welcome to the renaissance of innovation, and let's make happen with what you are going to see tonight. You are going to see amazing teams, leadership, passion, vibrant projects, and many of them are world-class ideas that should be world-class success. Why not starting here, now, and for a great future, to create jobs for our country, but create jobs also for Europe. Good luck, enjoy the evening, and I'm sure we will continue to do those kinds of events. Good luck to you, Frédéric, with your projects.
Thank you, Bernard, for those words. So our values, as I said, the objective is to be inclusive and to really empower people. And since last year, as we committed when we launched this initiative, we've already opened a lab in Boston, in our campus, in partnership with the MIT. We've opened in Korea in partnership with InnoDesign, and here in Paris, in our headquarters, in partnership with Polytechnique and Creative Valley, and I know you are there, so thank you for being here tonight. Partnership is key. Making a social innovator program to empower collaborative projects on an open way is key, and this is really where we are. So few figures since 2 years. Those figures, in fact, would have never been possible without a strong platform. And the 3DEXPERIENCE platform that most of you know for design and engineering has been heavily used for innovation and creation process. So all the design thinking phase that we are used to call design thinking is now experience thinking, to make sure that people could brainstorm collaboratively in a digital way so that they could be everywhere around the world. And this project could not be possible without the cloud. I could not, obviously, have projects with mentors from Dassault Systèmes in San Diego or in Munich or in Tokyo, having them, taking planes to support a startup. There is no meaning for that. But doing everything on the cloud, real time, to bring the expertise when it is needed, from the guys where they are, is really powerful. And the real value is to create this entire network, communities, with already many members, and now to open those communities to make sure that the hubs that we already created will connect together in order to create a real worldwide network of innovators. So this is really what we want to do. And I will not to take so much of your time for this introduction. And as you remember, the 3 main themes of the lab are life, city, on lifestyle. Those are themes are cross industries, on purpose. And for the first pitch of this session, you will have 9 of the best of the lab today. For the first theme, we'll be live with Thomas Marchand from Biomodex. Thomas will share his project. Biomodex is one of the first startups we are working with, and I'm very pleased to give the floor to Thomas. Thomas, it's your turn.
Let's talk about a surgical procedure. If you want to have a successful surgical procedure, you need to have the alignment of 3 things. 1 is the patient with his anatomy. 2 is the physician with his own skills. And 3 is the technology. It may be an implantable medical device. Look at this picture. These are 2 different patients. It's the brain arteries of the patient. And you understand now how difficult it could be for a surgeon to operate on a patient and to plan the operation. So what is Biomedics? Biomedics is a medtech startup based in Paris and Boston. We help the physicians to validate their medical devices for patient-specific treatments, resulting in more predictable and consistent clinical outcomes. So what do? We create, again, this convergence of the 3 things: the patient, the physician, and the technology, the day before the operation during a patient-specific planning. Our vision is to drive more decision of the physician before the operation to, at the end of the day, have better clinical results. What do? We develop lifelike 3D printed replicas of patient anatomy direct from the medical images, CT scan or MRI, delivering a unique planning and practicing experience. Let's dive into real-life patient case. This is Susie. She's 43 years old, and you can see here our medical images. This is the setup in the operation room with the Professor Moret, who is just up there, and is just planning the operation. You can see the patient, the physician, and again, the technology. And this is amazing because we can bring so much value to all the stakeholders of the treatment of the patient, but the big thing is really the safety of the patient. So let's talk about the tech. What do? We reproduce the complex, heterogeneous tissues of the human body that behave the same that inside the body. And this is our unique technology that is patented, that is in vivo tech. You have this cartridge of this organ that is 3D printed, and then you plug it inside what we call the station with the blood flow inside. So we have exactly the same experience of the operation. Our client is the medical device industry. We are a pure B2B company. And the market we address is up to $1 billion. It's a huge market. We are very proud because we have printed more than 1,000 organs this year. We're targeting 3,000 organs next year with very prestigious clients like Medtronic, Stryker, J&J, or even Boston Scientific. We have raised $5.7 million for the A series, and we are seeking a $10 million round for the next round. And so if you have investors, we are pretty open. So let's talk about the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab. We've been very glad to be one of the first startups to be accelerated in this program. And this is amazing because we have all the software available for us to accelerate. And then we have access, for example, to the great team of Simulia, that is the main team we are working with. We have some software education and coaching of the team. Just want to say hi to the coach that are here. And we have a soft landing program as well to be in the US the best way. And at the end, some amazing communication opportunities like this one tonight. So thank you very much for the DS team, and see you there, just right behind the wall.
Good evening, everyone. It's a tremendous pleasure to be here with you tonight. My name is Ladislas. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Leka. And at Leka, our mission is to help exceptional children live exceptional lives. So let me introduce you to Hugo. Hugo is 6, and he was diagnosed with autism at the age of 2. Because the wiring in his brain is different, Hugo perceives stimulation with 100 times more intensity than we do. Children with autism, Down syndrome, and other special needs have unique qualities. Their abilities to develop their cognitive and motor skills through standard form of play are not as good as for kids who don't have the same conditions. Now, as parents, I want you to imagine not being able to communicate with your child, not being able to look at him in the eyes. Imagine the pain and the struggle of not knowing how he feels when he wakes up in the morning. Hugo's parents and therapists are struggling to make him progress because it's so hard to find tools that will stimulate, motivate, and engage him in the learning activities. And the worst part is that Hugo is not 1 in a million, nor 1 in 1,000. Hugo is 1 in 68. There are millions of other children just like him. So for the millions of children, parents, and therapists, we made Leka. Our cute robotic smart toy has been designed with one mission in mind: to help parents and therapists help the exceptional children in their lives. The first thing that we learn is that Leka gets the children moving, and through play, we can work on fine and gross motor skills, which are crucial in the child's development. Another thing that we learn is that each child is unique. So we needed to make Leka both finely customizable and highly reliable. From the beginning, we've been working hand in hand with caregivers and therapists to develop amazing educational content. Through apps, we can work on fine and gross motor skills, sensory processing, social and communication. And this is the unique synergy that we're making. The hardware on the part and the software, educational content on the other side. As of today, more than 200 children have played with Leka, and the results were quite frankly amazing. As Hugo's mom, Tracy, puts it, and I quote, "The greatest part about Leka is the interactive piece, and how Leka helps Hugo become a better child." Of course, this wouldn't be possible without an amazing team. With my co-founder Marin, engineers, designers, we are all working very hard to make Leka a reality. And our entrepreneurial experience has been awarded by very famous networks both in France and in the US. Now, why we are here tonight is to talk about the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab. And of course, there is the software, and I think everyone would agree about that. But I think that the best part about the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab is the community. We are tech entrepreneurs, hardware tech entrepreneurs, and it's very hard. It's a long path to become a hardware tech entrepreneur. And I think the greatest thing is to be able to be part of these amazing communities with like-minded entrepreneurs and to be able to share our experience and to be able to make successful stories all together and help each other out. And what we are looking for today, we are selling this first version of Leka. It's working great. We have special schools in France, Canada, Spain, UK, United States that are doing it with great results, but we want to reduce the cost and we need to manufacture this product. So we are looking for funding partners to help us get Leka to production, to be able to have parents and therapists afford it everywhere in the world. To conclude, I'd say that Leka in Swedish means to play and to heal, and that's exactly what we are doing. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Good afternoon. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Digital Orthopaedics, company involved in personalized surgical simulations. So first questions we have been asking within the team is, are we successful today in foot and ankle surgery, knowing the complexity of the foot related to the number of ligaments, segments, tendons, and the complexity of the nature of the disease that can affect the foot, as you can see on the right. On the other hand, when you look at the recent scientific studies, you see that the level of successful is just 15% of patients where cataracts recover resolved. So the question we can ask is, if we can personalize medical treatment and stimulate the result, can we improve patient care? Knowing that today in other industry, in the aircraft, in the car industry, it's possible to do it. So why not predicting the result of a surgery before going to the operating room with exactly the same tool, because we are talking about biomechanics. So it is what we are doing with Digital Orthopaedics. We have developed, with the solutions and tool of Dassault Systèmes, a personalized surgical simulation workflow, starting with patient-specific input. We can segment the different anatomical pieces. We can simulate the surgery and do patient virtual model and define the best surgery. Patient-specific input, it's a CT scan, a DICOM, that we are using with a second software to do from 2D to 3D and segment the different anatomical species, as you can see here. And based on these different elements, we can do virtual models personalized to the patients. What you see here, it's a virtual 3D twins of a patient where we can follow the plantar pressure and the ground reaction forces of a specific patient. We can even dig inside the foot and look at the different ligaments, different tendons, different bone, and look what are the mechanical stresses that are related to the disease and try to fix it by really understanding what's happening within the foot. Surgical simulation is done in another software, it's Katia, and you see here what we have done is an osteotomy of the calcaneus. It's the bone behind the foot and we remove it we deplace it by 6.5 millimeters, and we can adjust all the ligament and all the tendon to try to fix the patient's issues. It is definitely in silico surgery here. So we hope that we can personalize simulation workflow to increase patient care, and as you can see, we are in a new area in medicine and definitely in surgery, orthopedical surgery. In terms of competitive advantage, we have 4 key elements that are important for us to keep in mind. In terms of management team, we regroup, combine engineering, 3D simulation capabilities, and in-depth medical expertise provided by the 2 co-founders that are orthopedic surgeons and key opinion leaders in this area. We have as well developed a unique medical knowledge database with an expert committee regrouping the best key opinion leaders in Europe. We have this technology leadership thanks to the partnership with Dassault Systèmes through the 3DEXPERIENCE Lab and the Foot and Ankle Institute. And last but not least, the patent filed in October 2017. In terms of achievement in the last over 18 months, we have achieved a lot, and we are a team of 50%. We raised more than 4 million of capitals and subsidies from the Walloon regions in Belgium, and we are looking for 5 more million euros. We'll be a medical device company. We have already the certification ISO 14485, and we hope to get the first product commercialized at the end of this year. To finish, we just want to illustrate that we are definitely in a revolution in the medicine. In orthopedic surgery, we can predict and validate the result and improve patient care, and we hope to be a player in this field. I thank you for your time.
Pauline, CEO of Syos, Shape Your Own Sound. At Syos, we are helping musicians, saxophone players finding their own sound identity thanks to 3D printed custom mouthpieces. Each musician is unique. Each musician has his own way of playing, his own playing characteristics, and most of all, each musician is looking for a sound of his own. For a musician, finding the right tool to get easily the sound he wants to is really the Grail quest. But unfortunately, musical instruments are standardized and mass-produced. Worst, they haven't evolved for 2 centuries. So musicians have to adapt to these instruments and to compensate for their defects. So that's why we created Syos. At Syos, we shape your own sound. So did you know that this little piece, the mouthpiece, is responsible for 80% of the sound? And did you know that since it's the air that vibrates inside the instrument that makes the sound, it's the internal geometry of the mouthpiece that will shape the sound and not the material is made of. So thanks to 3DEXPERIENCE Lab help and a lot of acoustic simulation and design in Katia and a lot of experiments with musicians, we built an algorithm that links the vocabulary the musician uses to describe the sound he wants to the geometry of the mouthpiece that will help him get that special sound. And thanks to 3D printing technology, we are able to make a unique piece for each musician in a quick, flexible, and extremely precise way. In a year, we built a strong brand with customers in 15 different countries in Europe and North America, and with famous musicians all around the world that were totally blown away by our products and became the ambassador of our brands. So now, why are we the good team to do that? Well, because we are 2 co-founders, we are researchers in acoustics, among the top 100 specialists in the world with complementary skills: acoustics of musical instruments, psychology of hearing and perception. We are supported by an awesome team that is here, and we are all passionate musicians. So now we show that we are the future of music industry, but we need to expand. So we need press coverage, we need partnerships with music shop, we need future fundings for US extension. We also get a big grant for research because we are not stopping at saxophone mouthpiece. We will develop other instruments like clarinet mouthpiece, trombone, trumpet, etc. So we need also to recruit some great young researchers. So if you are those people, you should come and talk to us, and I leave you with some of our best musicians, so enjoy.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Christopher, and with Julien, we co-found L'Increvable. So we are both industrial designers, and why we co-found L'Increvable? We want to propose an alternative of planned obsolescence in the field of white goods industry with a range of sustainable, repairable, and upgradable products. We are glad tonight to present you our first product, which is a washing machine designed to last decades. Why we found this company? Our mission with L'Increvable is to accelerate the transition from disposable goods-based economy to an economy based on reliable and repairable goods. I give you facts. Each year, each French people produce around 20 kilograms of e-waste, and it's increased each year, year after year. So a lot of this part of this waste are today burned or buried, which is not a sustainable situation. So that's why we decided to found L'Increvable, and our first product is a washing machine, a reliable, robust washing machine designed to last. So how it works? Basically, we inspired from the professional field to design our machine, and we designed it to have an easy maintenance and to be able to upgrade it easily. So to integrate the 3DEXPERIENCE lab was a great opportunity to have powerful tools to 3D modelization like SolidWorks and CATIA V6. But it was also a great opportunity to have the help of Renaud Business School as ESSEC to make business studies, and also to have brand content like 360 video. Our aim for the next years is to target 4% of the French front washing machine market. So to 2022 with a unit price of 990 euros. And we have a full online strategy for the distribution. So here our roadmap for the next months. We are now in a proof of concept phase, and our aim is to have manufacturer or partner at the beginning of the next year, and to find some financial partners also to launch our product next year. So, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jérôme Vernet with Dracula Technologies. I'm still Jérôme Vernet with Dracula Technologies. I'm Dracula. I restart again. Okay, Dracula Technologies. We are a deep tech startup, specialist and expert in digital printed organic photovoltaic cells, and the inventor of a technology we've called Layer. Energy is a key issue today. Forecasts predict over 50 billion IoT in 2020. This represents around 10% of the global energy consumption. But where does the energy come from? Many companies are working on the opportunity regarding IoT, but only a few actually question the energy supplies of these devices. IoT means infinite possibility, but quite a lot of these IoT have lost their original convenience due to constraining power supply. Our solution boosted usage. It simplified the logistic, it naturally fits with IoT needs and features, and most important, it's eco-friendly. At Dracula, to face that challenge, we've created Layer, a printed technology which generates energy from ambient light. Our technology is based on a unique OPV cell manufacturing technique using digital printing. In the same way that an office printer uses graphic ink to print, we print our layer modules using functional inks that we have formulated ourselves. You have here the world's first shaped OPV. The benefit of our technology: Layer generates energy from ambient light, natural or artificial. Layers is adjustable and integrated in a surface. Printing the modules make it possible to produce shapes and follow the curves. Layer is organic. We only use organic polymers to formulate the inks we are using in our production. The question is, what if your brand or your logo could generate its own energy to power existing or future products? This can be achieved by integrating our layer technology. We guarantee indoor performances never seen before, and we continually improve our electric features. For years, our engineers and professors have been working closely with our strategic and scientific committee that includes academic and industrialists. For years, we are even supported by many partners, such as Dassault Systèmes, Airbus, and even XYT Energy. So it's very important to mention this because these partners are really important for us. We have several patents for years too, and what we need for the future to pursue development, we need investors. We start a second fundraising campaign in January 2018 to collect around 4 million euros to industrialize our production. We are even looking for industrial partners, as we are looking for new applications and products. And of course, we welcome experts from university and research center as we continue want to improve our knowledge and, I would say, our skills. Now, to summarize, Dracula Technology is a deep tech startup. That means from raw material up to final product. So we have to create all the processes that we are using. We develop many tools and some characterization bench too. In the future, we start with our partner to install the new and the first one all inkjet printing line with organic photovoltaic in Valence in France. Finally, all this was made possible by our passionate team of people. We made something that a year ago everybody considered was science fiction. We said we'll print our layer technology by end of 2017, and it was done in October. So thanks to all the partners, and in part of that, thanks to Dassault Systèmes. Thank you.
Please a bit of silence, please, just to hear the pitch of our speakers. Thank you.
Hello, hi, hello everybody. So my name is Benjamin David. I'm the founder of Xsun, the company. So Xsun, basically the world I'm coming from is using solar energy as a unique energy for autonomous machines. And this world is the space world. So basically I spent 15 years in space industry for ESA, CNES and Airbus. across Europe. And basically the idea of Exoaxon is to try to create new types of machines using the same way of thinking and way of operate of satellites, except that we won't use a launch vehicle to have the orbit of the machines. And basically the objective is to use also the machines to be operate as a control center. So we can say it's like a flying satellite, basically. So if we've got different type of machines here, we can say that we've got multicopters here, which are limited autonomy. We've got then fixed-wing UAV, which are using the lift of each wings to save energy. Then we've got, of course, airplanes, helicopters, and these machines, we can say they are expansible energy systems, which means that they are using their onboard energy, and slowly the energy will decrease up to the end of the system. And here we've got new types of machines which are using a renewable energy system, basically which are using the energy of the sun as solar impulse, as you've seen. We've got also some high altitude platform satellites or HEPS, like Zephyr here in Airbus. And we've got also satellites here which are using also satellite control center, because of course you don't have the pilot on board the aircraft. The idea of Exoaxon is to create a disruptive machine, because as you can see here, we can see a trend. Basically, of course, the higher the altitude, the higher the cost. So the idea is to create a machine, thanks to solar energy, which have very long autonomy with very low cost. So after 2 years of trying different design and different approach, we've arrived to this kind of profile, which is basically a solar UAV with basically two wings, two lifted wings. So it's an unconventional aircraft design, basically where we try to optimize at maximum the number of cells on the aircraft. So basically we try to have a system which is autonomy, which has the maximum amount of autonomy in energy, thanks to solar, and in decision by using onboard intelligence artificial. The objective is to have a system which can completely do its mission in an autonomous way. Of course, controlled by a UAV control center like this one. Exoaxon basically is composed of 6 different bricks of technology. So first, we've got new type of aerodynamics, where we've got different patents. Then we've got structural design, where we are basically using 100% composite approach. We've got then energy, where basically we try to encapsulate new type of solar cells, non-silicium arsenide gallium cells, into the wings. Also, we've got high performance battery. Then, of course, it's good to have a system which is highly autonomous, highly stable, and very light, but then you need to control it properly from the control center. Here we use machine-to-machine communication, thanks to our partners, and also in the future we will use satellite communication. Of course, we are also embedded different type of control command, artificial intelligence, thanks to the tool, 3DEXPERIENCE tool. We've got a lot of different businesses, and basically they are all interested to test the machines. So finally, this is a problem. This was the first flight that we did basically 2 weeks ago to validate the structural approach and the aerodynamics of the UAV. You can find it also on YouTube if tonight it's not working. That's it basically.
So, hi everyone, I am Simon Mancarelli, the co-founder of XYT. I'm really proud to be here to present my startup. So, what is XYT? XYT is a new generation car manufacturer, which is playing really in a new environment because there is a lot of challenges today. I want you to realize that we are living in a very exciting time because we have many challenges in front of us. There is the urbanization on one side, the digital transformation, and the climate change. And our startup is working on those three different market dynamics, and I will show you why. But today, the current paradigm in the automotive industry has made great progress over the past 100 years with better performance, better quality, but cars have become more and more complex to maintain, and they have gained weight as well. So for some utilizations, it becomes hard to get the fine vehicle for the right purpose. And therefore, at XYT, we've developed a modular platform. And our approach is really to be able to personalize a vehicle for a very specific business use. And for that, we've built a car like a Lego, and you can build up a car. We do that with our clients to create the perfect tool. And for that, we have simplified the platform, we have less parts, and we worked on durability, evolutivity, and it's green because it's electric. We could discuss that because, of course, there are different ways of seeing the efficiency of vehicles, but let's say we don't have emissions where we operate our cars. But beyond the cars, we really are not selling cars, but want to work with our clients and partners to create new jobs. We don't see the car as just a car, but as a mobile working station, let's say. And therefore, this is used for different purposes. We can have examples in the last mile delivery, because today, because of the rise of the e-commerce, this world is also really transforming a lot. And therefore, we are working together with our clients to build the perfect tools for their operations. So the collaboration with Dassault Systèmes is interesting for us because we want to accelerate the co-innovation with our clients. And we believe we need the right tools to do that. So that's also why we came to the 3DEXPERIENCE lab on one side. And the other side is also to access a designer community, because thanks to our modular platform, we have endless possibilities to configure the car. And therefore, we want to be centered on the different usage and work together with designer communities, with clients, and so on. So therefore, we need the right tools to do that, to be efficient in the best way. So at this stage, we are, just to give you a few words from a financial standpoint and where we stand, we are market ready. We had already produced 80 cars, which are on the road, which have been approved, certified, crash tested. And now we are entering in the phase where we are deploying pilot tests with our clients on very specific verticals, and we are working heavily right now on the last mile delivery, so focusing more on the utilitarian aspects of the vehicles, but we have also other collaborations in different verticals that are coming afterwards. Thanks a lot, and thank you for having us here.
Hello. So at EEL Energy, we develop a power machine which converts currents, water currents from sea or rivers into electric power.
We are a staff of 8 gathered around the work of Jean-Baptiste Drevet, the inventor of our solution. The project would be nowhere without the strong support of our partners. Of course, Dassault Systèmes, but also Ifremer, the C-R&D Institute, which joined on board at the very beginning of the project and believed in our project for the last 5 years. So global warming is no longer just virtual matter pushed by a few stubborn scientists. It's getting real. So we need real solution. The planet will need much more clean power. Of course, wind and solar will bring solutions for that. But they will also bring a key issue to handle, which is intermittence. What we want to bring is a solution with a stable and predictable power. We want to bring a complementary piece of a puzzle to fight global change, climate change.
So now it works. The water flow energizes the membrane, and embedded generators convert the energy in electricity. Doesn't make any noise, doesn't produce any CO2, and because it's quite a slow motion, it doesn't disturb the fishes. So as you will see in this video, our system is inspired by the nature, and it's like a fish swimming in the ocean. And you can see the ondulation of the membrane, and it's going on. We are managing an industrial project with significant investment, and digital modeling and simulation enable us to design right first time and to accelerate the decision process.
It takes a long time to develop such a breakthrough. So the project started 5 years ago. We had a lot of efforts mixing experimentation and simulation with prototypes going bigger over the years. Over the last weeks, we had the chance to test for the first time our technology in real environment in the sea. Our objective is to be ready for a commercial takeoff in 3 years with 2 targets. One is the isolated areas looking for no alternative but very expensive very expensive electricity, or big utilities having access to ocean currents and looking for stable and clean energy. So we are very happy to be here. We are looking for business partners interested to co-invest in pilot farms, which are the next phase for our development. And we had a successful fundraising 18 months ago, giving us a good visibility for the next 2-3 years. But we would welcome additional investors to prepare product industrialization. Many thanks.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing project, right? Way! Are you ready to invest? Yeah! So we have great talents here. It was a real pleasure to have you all on stage. Obviously, talents are also in the room. I would like to share some rewards to Siddharth Raju. Sid has been rewarded by the MIT as the best innovator under 35. He's part of Biomodex. Congratulations, Sid. So I guess now you understand how 3D experience contributes to innovation. You saw after each pitches the 3D experience to really explain you the project, and we really believe at Dassault Systèmes that it's far better than PowerPoint or business plans to really, from engineering data, show you in experience what the innovation is. And to share some perspective and conclusion with me, I would like to welcome on stage Pascal Dalloz. Pascal is our EVP Strategy and Brands. And Pascal is at the beginning of most of the technology you saw, making some strong decision on acquisition for the group years ago when you invested in Virtools at that time. And obviously, I would like you to share some words with us tonight.
Thank you, Frédéric. First of all, I would like really to thank you, all of you. I mean, VCs, entrepreneurs, friends, journalists, because without this community, this kind of event will never be possible. My second thing is, you know, it reminds me at the early days of Dassault Systèmes, because we used to be like you guys 30 years ago, when we were facing Boeing and trying to convince them to adopt a new technology called the 3D mock-up to design probably one of the most complex airplanes. You know, we have to share more than only our passions, the talents, but everything was about the commitment to make it happen. And I think this is what I have seen today with you guys. You want to change the world, and this is very, very key, because I think this century is basically the century of innovations. We will not serve the 7 billion people the same way we served the 3 billion previously. Something have to change. We need to do more with less. And this is basically the purpose of what we are trying to do with you guys. It's not only about, you know, using our tools to prove that we are doing great things. It's because the society at large needs it. So clearly we have a purpose. I think it's a different purpose compared to our friend from the GAFA. And the best way to explain it, it's the following. If you look at our life, it's 800,000 hours. Okay? You have 800,000 hours you can spend to do whatever you want. You use almost 200, if not 300, to sleep. A little bit less than 100 to 100,000 to work, 40,000 to sleep, to teach, to be educated. The question is, what are you doing with the remaining piece? And the remaining piece is 400,000 hours. So you can spend the time to watch TV, to spend time on internet, or maybe you can do something else, which is change the world. So this is basically the purpose of the 3D Experience Lab. Thank you very much, Guy, and you have the floor.
Thank you, Pascal.